Social Space Curator, and today I'm coming to you with a Rolodex project. I love this project because I do not use my Rolodex for like things like, you know, business cards and stuff like that. I generally have ideas and I like to, you know, jot down some of my notes from my ideas. So I really just need a blank sheet of paper because I'll put it in a spiral, but I'll never like find it again. Never find it again. And I felt like this was just the best way to organize while having something cute and keeping me on goal for whenever I do have certain ideas and certain genres of thought. So in saying that, what did I use in order for me to make this beautiful Rolodex? Oh, let me say this. This is a Rolodex from Heidi Swapp. I really love her, the quality of this Rolodex. It is plastic, I'm just gonna let you know that now, but it's very sturdy and it could hold up to, I don't even know, however much you need. I think it's probably like 500, I really don't remember. But the paper that I use for my particular Rolodex is a cream cardstock, and it's 65 pounds, it's 8.5 by 11. If you have something bigger like a 12 by 12 cream or whatever colors that you like, or a cardstock that you like, you could definitely use that for this project as well, and it will be absolutely adorable. But whenever I like to write things out, I like things to be standard and blank. But it comes with 50 sheets, and I got it from Michael's for $5.99, and they just look like this beautiful color right here. Alright, so the other thing that I use is just a stamp, and I got this one from Hobby Lobby, and I have this hybrid ink pad that is pigment and what else is it? It's pigment in a dye ink, and it just renders the most beautiful, clearest image. So I highly recommend these two. Alright, so as far as like the tools that I use the tab punch tool from We Are Memory Keepers. I use the We Are Memory Keeper paper cutter. It's a very simplistic one because things can only go one at a time when making this process. So your general, you know, makeup might take some time, but after a while it's going to be really easy to make. And then I have the Heidi Swapp punching tool for the Rolodex, and it has a little paper catch in the back, which is I need to clean that out. But yeah, I just think this is all that you need. I need to double check. Yep, this is all. Oh, well, of course we have to get into the type of paper that we did the labeling, and it's a 65 pound what was it, cardstock. All right, so this cardstock is gold on the front, and then it's cardstock, you know, craft paper on the back. And this is from Recollections. It's a 65 pound as well. And they call it foil paper, 25 sheets, $5.99. Very cheap, very beautiful addition to your project. If you do not want gold and you want like a matted look, it'll still render out that beautiful, you know, just that beautiful quality that you want, because I just like the dimension. So then how do we get this to stick to the card as well? Okay, so I have this double-sided adhesive mounting sheet. This is also from Recollections as well. I got this online, but you can get it from Michael's as well. So it's very permanent, it's very sticky, and it's perfect. So these two actually pair well together because the back of this is, like I said, craft paper. So let's go ahead and get into the project. First thing you want to do is take your cutting tool and your 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Again, like I said, if it's 12 by 12 and you can break it down by 4 by 4s, this will be the perfect paper to do it. But because I have 8.5, I'm going to line this paper up to 8 inches. Take that 0.5 out, and you'll be left with this piece of paper you can use for something else. I will definitely show you guys that in another video. And then you're going to line this paper up with an 8, and now you have an 8 by 8 square sheet of paper. You're going to need this for your insert, but I just wanted to show you a way how you can not have too much waste from your paper. So with the smallest sheet of paper, you're just going to line it up to 4, and you are good with some inserts. And then as far as like the labeling paper, you would need to line that up at 4. There we go. Bring them together and then on the long ways, line it up at 4 again. And now you have 4x4, sorry, that's my garage, 4x4 sheets of paper. All right, so now it's time to actually design your sheet of paper. All you need is a stamp in the hybrid ink that I was telling you. I usually just like to stamp on the front of this piece of paper here. So all I do is kind of sit the stamp on there so it can soak up the ink, and then turn the stamp in paper every which way so I can have a beautiful pattern for the back of this card. And I just highly recommend that you do not shift the stamp on top of the paper, because you might end up messing up some and dropping the stamp. I did it too many times. That's the only reason why I'm saying it, so I'm low-key projecting. But the point that I'm trying to make is, you know, be careful. So now you have your perfect sheet of 4x4 paper, and I'm going to show you kind of how to prepare your Rolodex sheet of paper. Okay, so if you want, you can keep it like it is. Use your Rolodex tool and line it up between the two lines here. And this just reminds you how wide her Rolodex is. So it's just a really great tip to know why this line is here and here. And here is your punch out. And that should line up perfectly for your Rolodex. Before I do the other ones here, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up, and I'm gonna show you how I ended up having the extra tab organizer for this sheet of paper, as far as like the main organizing tabs that I have on my Rolodex. All right, so what I did was take my 4x4 sheet of paper. This is like right now no longer necessary. And you're going to then feed your sheet of paper through at the top, and this is going to be a side, I'm trying to point at something that's not on camera. This is going to be a side punch. So I'm going to feed this in on the side. Then I'm going to put this back. I'm going to flip this paper over, and this is just going to be a small tab. If you want a larger tab, it still will fit and look nice. I just like the small ones for me. I'm going to then flip this over, take this guiding tool here, and cut that out. And now you have the perfect paper for your Rolodex. So I'm going to go ahead and complete these and add the different tabs, and then I'm going to show you kind of how I add the different words for the layering effect with my Cricut. So we finished our cards, and what I really love is that I stamped first before actually punching out, and that just gives you those beautiful like overlays, or you know, just a continuous pattern look to your overall card. All right, so how did we design the card labels, right? How did we do it? So the first thing that I wanted to say is that you would need to get your, move that out the way. You need to get your adhesive mounting sheet. They only give you 2 sheets. I would recommend getting a different, you know, it doesn't have to be Recollections. I think they have bulk on Amazon. I'm just using what I was trying out. Now that you have this ready, what you want to do is take one of the sides off. It doesn't matter which side because it's double mounting adhesive. There we go. This one wanted to release first. So I'm gonna move this out the way so it doesn't stick to my mounting sheet. All right, see, it's extremely sticky. And what you wanna do from there is take your sheet of paper that's gold and exposing all of what I look like. You wanna really make sure that the corners do match up perfectly. And then just go ahead and flatten it down. All right, so it does have a little bit of extra at the bottom. That's okay, it really wouldn't hurt anything. Just so I can show you guys what I did earlier. See, I did the same thing, but I mounted it down with some painter's tape, and it's reusable, so I'm not gonna really waste it. I'm just gonna remove this. All right, so one thing worth noting is this is possibly like a ½ an inch down on the sheet of paper, and you can see by looking at the side here and here. And then it has a ½ an inch on this side. So there's like a ½ an inch radius you cannot place your image on. So move your image around or words around. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you in Cricut Design Space how I put the 2 and 2 together. Alright, so we're in Cricut Design Space and I'm using Lucky Calgria as my font, and then I'm going to go ahead and offset that by 0.06. You can do it as thick as you want, it's really up to you, but I love my letters very, very dainty. So as you can tell that the letters aren't connecting, and that's not good whenever you're cutting with Cricut, especially this small. So I'm using small squares that allow me to actually connect the letters together. Now that they're together, I weld them into one solid piece, word by word, and then I go and get a square that is 4 by 4, which is the size of our tabs, and then apply the letters on top of that, square. You're not going to cut out a square, you're just using this as a template so you can know that your letters are the perfect size. So again, play around with that, and once that's complete, hide your square, and then you're going to select Make It. Once you select Make It, shift the words around where the paper is. Because there was that boundary of tape, I had to kind of move the letters over. Then I use heavy cardstock, and then I use more pressure, and then voila. What we're looking to do is have this be utilized as like a sticker. So let's get in a little bit closer. All right, so what you would want to do is take your weeding tool here and be extremely gentle, because it does have a very fragile connection right there. Again, if you went a little bit thicker than me, you are in the green. There's 2 ways that you can be able to take this out. You can have it with the sticker paper out as well. Oops, there we go. Like me, or you can just peel this out without the sticker backing. I forgot which way I was saying it, but I'm gonna do it without the sticker backing because it's just giving me all the drama, and I don't need the drama. All right, because of the gold, it's making it very hard for this machine for this camera to keep a focus on it. So I use very thin letters because that's just what I love. You can use something thicker and it's not as fragile. It is up to you. But I'm gonna take this A, excuse me, there you go. This A right here is still on the back. That is okay, simply because, you can pick that up after, so you do not have to weed it because it is like a sticker. It's not going to connect to the paper, and it has that backing. And let's just go ahead and get media out of the way. All right, so you're going to take one of your cards that you started on, and you're going to take your word and you're going to find the center of your paper. So I generally don't mind if it's a little off center, but you can always figure out a way to find your center, whether you mark it at the top of the paper. I don't mind. I just want to make sure that this is comes out really straight. Oh, and it doesn't, and that's okay. I'm just going to pull it back, and I'm going to bring this up a little bit more. There we go. And then there we go. I'm going to actually mark it there. Make sure you're very gentle to not tear it. And then I'm going to mark everything down. And whenever you varnish this onto your piece of paper, make sure you're not like rubbing vigorously, because this is like foiled paper. So it's going to show all of that action on that foil paper. It's not going to give you the clean look. So if you do want to like flatten it, just take another sheet of paper and just, you know, press down, and I think you'll be fine. So let's go ahead and put this media on. Okay, so now it's ready to be added to the Rolodex. And of course, if you have a Rolodex, you already know how it works. All you have to do is just snap them in place. I have the extras back here where I can just, if I ever need some in the future, I have it just sitting in the back. You know, the usual drill. And then you can add your extras here. And just keep in mind, and this really measures out to be 3 inches by 4 inches, you know, 3 high, 3 wide. So if you need more of the inserts in there, you can always cut the paper down by 8 by 9, and then, you know, do the cuts down to 3 by 4s. So there's so many different ways that you can be able to, you know, cut this down. Yeah, so that is all I have as far as, you know, a cute little Rolodex idea. I have this on the wrong side. See, I gotta stay organized. But yeah, let me know how you come up with your Rolodex, you know, designing organization ideas. I really would love to see it. What different stamp you use, different paper, and all that different stuff. I'm going to continue to keep, you know, making some just for fun. But in saying that, I shall talk to you guys soon, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Bye.